Previously on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. Things got off to a rocky start when a late addition, Artie and Brenda showed up on the scene. Hey, get off me! I didn't come here on purpose! I didn't want to be here!
Artie, get off of him! Artie!
Instantly, Dr. Drew had a lot of work to do breaking up a fist fight between Bam Margera and Congressman DeCaplan.
Guys, please stop that. Dr. Drew, don't just stand there. Get him up.
I'm tired of hearing about Ryan Dunn.
Get over it, Bam, and get off my husband.
Even Brenda turned physical against April Margera. All fists were flying.
You stupid fucking cunt! You raised one fucking hell of a son! This dude fucking sucks! He took a dildo up the ass in Jackass 3!
And he's gonna do it in Jackass 4 when I get him clean and I get him for more money!
I'll fucking stab you, bitch!
Alligator in my kitchen!
But Dr. Drew made a vow to fight drugs in every person, no matter how hard the addiction. I don't want any help. It's the shocking season finale of Celebrity Rehab.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. I'm sitting here today with, well, why don't I just let you guys introduce yourself? Artie?
Yes, hello, I'm former Congressman Artie DeCaplan showing up to this bullshit, intervention.
Artie, it's not bullshit. You like this show, don't you?
Yeah, I like watching everybody else on it, but not me. I don't need to. First of all, just honored to be considered a celebrity. Just honored. Humbled. From the bottom of my heart. But I don't see this as an addiction. I just like doing heroin. I'm not addicted. I just need it to get through every day.
Okay, Artie, we're gonna get into the addiction part later. I just wanted you to introduce yourself.
Sorry. And this is my mother / my wife.
No, yourself, Artie.
Oh. I'm Congressman Artie DeCaplan, and I created incest law.
Moving on. Brenda, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi! I'm Brenda, Artie's mom. Now I know what you're thinking. Artie might be in trouble, but he's not at home. He's not with me. I might be his mom. I'm also his wife. Hi!
She sits there and she says hi, and she pretends like she wasn't addicted to heroin just a week ago.
I was only addicted to it because you introduced me to it, Artie.
Well...
You lost all of our money, and then we were both in a downward spiral together. You went up and got the gin some days, or I poured the vodka others, but we were in it together.
I know, and now you left because you're a stick in the mud, and then you called A&E to get me on what? Intervention?
I didn't call A&E. A&E called me because there were reports all over Fox News, CNN, ABC, NBC that Congressman Artie DeCaplan was now addicted to heroin after losing all of his money.
Well, I mean...
Shamed wife embarrassed to be with him.
Shamed wife embarrassed to be...
That's what the media
talks to me.
Okay.
Talks to me, Drew.
Artie, I think we should focus on one thing at a time. We're getting to know, just way too much at once. When was the first time you did heroin?
First time, probably 13 years old.
13 years old?
Yeah.
And what was that like for you?
It was incredible. Really incredible. Hobo gave it to me. My mom didn't pick me up from school that day. And I walked home from high school, and there was a hobo selling heroin, and I told him I didn't have any money, but I wanted to try it. He gave me a shot for free.
It's true. He came home with track marks in his arms. He loved it. He was having a great day that day. We made beautiful love.
It was a really great day. Yeah.
He made beautiful love to me that day.
Oh. Brenda, can we just hold off on your input for a second?
Yes, please shut the hell up.
Do you see the way he's been talking to me? He's
I
got
don't
such
even
an
want to hear
attitude.
that.
Dr. Drew, he's had such an attitude ever since he started doing heroin. You're probably just in a... You're probably just
You
in a bad
turned me
mood.
into Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. I'm allowed to be a little annoyed.
You didn't have to show up.
Oh, okay, said the people who put me in straitjackets and dragged me here. Once you signed the contract to appear on the
who put you
show.
in straitjackets? Nobody.
Your producers.
Nobody put you in straitjackets, Artie.
Oh, now
Is
you're
it
going
possible
to
you have a
call
warped
Bam
perception of
Margera out
reality? Bam Margera is in
guarantee-
the second part of the episode, Artie. Bam Margera is
I
not coming out here.
guarantee if you call Bam Margera, he would back me up that you put people in straitjackets. You don't want people to say, because you are affiliated with Oprah and all this.
Hey, yo!
You don't want to have your opinion.
Hey, yo, like, I'm sorry to interrupt this, though,
Bam!
but he's right.
Thank you. See?
Don't touch me,
put
bro.
you in straitjackets.
Don't touch me, bro. I'm not into incest like that, dude.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, you drunk.
Fuck you, dude.
Are we about to fist fight again?
I'm gonna go call Johnny Knoxville, and he's gonna
Oh.
kick your ass.
I would do anything to get my ass kicked by Johnny Knoxville. He's sexy.
Ew,
So
you're
I turned
fucking
that
gay
one on you.
too.
Just get out of here. I know you were you acting homophobic, even though you most
Bam,
likely had sex with Ryan Dunn.
Artie, you better be nicer to Bam if you ever want to see Jackass 4.
Oh, when never
Jackass 4 isn't happening, and you know why?
Cause you're a drunk.
This fucking guy.
Yes, we know your best friend died. Blah blah blah.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Watch me blow my fucking brains out, Artie. Oh my god. Oh.
Oh my God! I'm covered in Bam Margera's blood.
His brains all over me! Dr. Drew, why
feel
did
like
you let
Jackie
this
Kennedy.
happen? Why did you let Bam Margera die?
Somebody call Johnny Knoxville. He's going to be gutted.
He's with Ryan Dunn now.
If there's any consolation, we know he is going to be happy with Ryan Dunn in hell.
Thank you for joining back into Celebrity Rehab. This episode we have Artie and Brenda DeCaplini. This episode is now dedicated to Bam Margera. Artie, your addiction pushed you to a point to make someone kill themselves in front of you. When are you going to admit this is an issue?
Well, that totally was not my fault. That was as much as I love Bam and all that wacky shit he did on the TV show and in the movies, that was a troubled man. And, anybody that would put a gun to their head like that and blow their brains out in front of me, my mom, Dr.
I think
Drew.
it's the coward's way.
It's a coward. He's truly a coward, but nope, not my fault at all. Nope.
Congressman DeCaplini, do you experience, how do I put this, what you would call empathy?
Oh, I mean, I was pretty sad when the baby got taken away. Johnson, I put my finger in its mouth and I missed it, and I missed its little gums on my fingers, but
Kind of a
Other
weird
than
thing
that-
to bring up to that question. What?
I feel empathy for little Johnson. I miss him. I want to try to get him back, and
But do you have any idea what Bam Margera was going through during this episode? Are you familiar with the story? I mean, you must be, because you knew he had an alcohol issue.
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing he was really dealing with today was getting his ass beat by me yesterday. Kicked his ass at the group meeting yesterday. Remember?
Congressman DeCaplini, something I'm saying must not be getting through to you. There was a man right in front of you, and you told him that he was gay with his dead best friend. He's
Saw it in
mourning
the news
his
article.
loss.
Saw it on the blog, Dr. Drew. Saw it on the blog. And I say, Drew, I saw it on the blog. I brought it up. Maybe it wasn't appropriate, but... other people say it.
Dr. Drew, I don't know why you harping on this for so long. Artie didn't do anything wrong. And,
Thank you.
And, I just want to say thank you for the new clothes. Thank you for buying them for us. I think this dress looks really pretty. Do you think it looks pretty, Dr. Drew?
Be careful what you say, Drew. I make me people kill themselves.
Brenda, are you trying to flash me your vagina? You like what you see?
Close your legs.
You know I'm a good girl, Artie.
See, she does this in front of me, and then she wonders why my arm craves the drugs.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I'm stressed and depressed. You want to have sex with Dr. Drew right here in front of me.
Well, you won't have sex with me.
Since when wouldn't I?
You can't get it up now that you've been on heroin. You just lay there like, for so long. And I try to get it up. I try to do a little something, a little pumps for you, at least 5 or 6 pumps. Nothing happens.
Oh, maybe we need to get Viagra or something. Who says the answer is getting off heroin?
Okay, guys, this is not divorce court. This is not marriage counseling. I am here to help specifically you, Artie, with your addiction.
Okay.
We have an amazing facility we can bring you to that would, at the very least, get you back to baseline. We need to get you to baseline sobriety, and let's just see if your thoughts go any differently. If you get there and you think, okay, I want to do heroin again. Obviously after we release you, you will be free to do heroin again.
Oh, you'll give me heroin?
We will not provide the heroin, but you're an adult. You can do whatever you want. Drugs are legal now.
Yes.
So
we could go to Oregon and start anew.
No, that's not the point of the rehab, Artie. The point of the rehab is so that
Then
you don't
why did
want.
you say all of that?
I'm just saying you would have the choice. But
why would you even give me the option? Because if you give me the option, I obviously want to do heroin.
Artie, do you want to stop doing drugs?
No. But I want to get the kid back for my wife, and I want to live a long time, but I also want to enjoy the time that I'm alive by shooting up heroin.
Artie, and you just said it. You have to realize that you want to live a long time and get your baby back, and all that it would take is for you to stop doing drugs. And that is not enough. Artie, that is addiction.
Oh, well, at the very least, I just need to make it look like I am not doing drugs,
Artie, you're on national television saying that you're going to fake everybody out and tell everybody that you're not on heroin when you are. You think CPS is going to believe that?
Honest to God, Drew, how many people are watching? I've never seen an episode.
We have 2 million viewers every episode. Not to mention the 4 million that we have that watch various YouTube clips.
Oh.
And our Facebook page with over 6 million followers.
And you're going to cut out that part where I just said that and put it in a little video that you share on all of your platforms to promote the show?
Yes.
And next week it'll probably be in the intro of the episode.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so
Artie, you keep embarrassing me. Everybody in the fucking world is seeing this. I don't know why you're getting all mad at me for thinking I'm bringing you on a show to fucking exploit you when you've been exploiting yourself. When's the last time you turned on Fox News?
Not in a while, honestly.
They're talking about you nonstop. It's
Well,
you
why?
and Benghazi. You and Benghazi.
I don't know why they're spending so much time on me when there's 4 dead Americans in Benghazi that Hillary still hasn't answered for. Truly. And that dumbass Obama. And now you've got the vice president pretending that he just got elected president. So, something needs to be investigated there, not me. What
Artie,
do they have to say about
we're
me? I
losing
made a bad
focus.
business
Artie,
move.
Artie, have you ever been diagnosed with ADHD?
Oh, no.
Diagnosis.
Why? Hey, I don't have ADHD. My mom said she fucked my principal so that they wouldn't call me autistic.
Artie,
Right, Mom?
PTSD diagnosis. Artie, your mom has been molesting you. She molested you, Artie. Do you realize that?
Oh, yeah.
Artie, that has a tendency to mess with people severely psychologically. It could have it didn't just could have. It entirely shaped the person you are today.
What?
Yeah.
Dr. Drew, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, Artie, let's get out of here. This is...
Well, wait.
This is
I want to hear
ridiculous.
what he has to say.
What do you mean what he has to
What
say?
kind of effect? Listen, people are calling me retarded more often today than they were years ago. You said that you fucked my principal, so he didn't call me retarded. Now Dr. Drew is saying I'm retarded, and he says it's because you fucked me. So I want to hear what he said.
Artie, I want to clear. I am not saying you are retarded.
Well, you said I have ADHD. What is the difference? I mean, a mental retardation's a mental retardation. Call it what you call it.
It's Artie, mental illness is entirely different from mental retardation. And we don't even call it mental retardation anymore. We call it on the spectrum.
I don't like Spectrum. I liked Time Warner much better, so I would rather go
Okay,
to some
Artie,
other
you're
company.
retarded. Diagnosis.
Okay, well,
Artie,
you
let me reason with you real quick, okay? Man to man.
Okay.
You have just been diagnosed with retardation. Not even autism, not even on the spectrum, developmental disability, IEP. I gave you the old school diagnosis. Do you think a retarded man would be able to make the best decisions for himself? Are you too retarded to answer that?
Well, it depends on what you mean. So
Yes,
I
sir.
guess I am.
Do you think a retarded man could do the best for himself?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Some people get to live on their own and just have somebody come check up on them every once in a while, so why not?
Have you ever lived on your own, Mr. DeCaplini?
Well, that's a trick question because I lived with my mom, and then I met my wife Petunia right out of high school, and then when I murdered her, I moved back in with my mom, who became my spouse. So it's you can't really. No, I've never lived alone.
The only time he's lived alone, Dr. Drew, was in prison.
That's true. That's true. I was in prison for murder. But then I became a congressman, so it's all worked out in the end.
Artie, you had just a month ago billions of dollars, and now you have nothing. Can you not see that you have lost billions in this downward spiral?
Well, of course, that's just a bad business move. It's not my fault. I just made a boneheaded move. But, ultimately, I think Petro's going to do great things at the Kentucky Derby now that he owns it. It was a proud ownership for 1 month from me. But what can you say? I lost all the money. But I don't think that has anything to do with the heroin addiction because I got addicted to heroin after I lost all the money. So, point for me.
And you also lost your child and made a man kill himself in front of you.
Well, not my child, but I'm trying to get it back together. I'm trying to get it back. I'm trying to do the
Our
right thing.
child. Thank you for saying not my child, Artie. It's our child. Thank you.
No, it's actually yours and Destiny.
No,
the
it's
Cavalry.
ours. It's ours.
Whatever you want to believe, Brenda, but that's my brother, not my baby. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and you're my husband, not my son. Yeah, uh-huh.
All right. Do you see how she talks to me, Drew? Like no wonder. I mean, she talks to me like I'm an idiot.
Brenda,
so
you
no
are
wonder
you are speaking to Artie awfully condescending. I think there might be some sort of superiority complex you have with each other. There aren't relationships like this. You may have made incest legal, Artie, but largely everybody resisted it.
That's what you say, but the law is the law, so just like Obamacare, it stands. Nobody likes that either.
Yes, Artie, we're not talking about Obamacare. Okay. Nothing seems to be getting through to you, Mr. DeCaplini. But I think this next guest will. We
Yes.
have opened up a portal to hell in the green room.
What?
And our next guest, Latricia.
Nice to see you again, Artie.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you bringing Latricia here for?
Artie, we have brought Latricia here because we want to show you what happened in Child Protective Services in the spirit world.
Recognize this little fella?
Get your hands off of him! Johnson!
No. His name isn't Johnson anymore.
Yes, it always will
His
be.
name is now Keith.
The worst name in the
Named my
English
baby
language.
Keith? What the fuck is this bitch? Dr. Drew, what the fuck is this bitch doing with my baby? What's going on?
Dr. Drew, why did you give the baby to
Now,
Latricia?
Relax. Artie, we're going to let Latricia explain.
I adopted him. There's not much to explain, Dr. Drew.
You can't adopt our baby. It was supposed to be in foster care until Dr. Drew got me clean.
Okay.
That was the agreement
Latricia, I
with the
think
court.
you might be a little confused. She did not adopt the baby, Mr. DeCaplini. The baby is in foster care, and she's looking after it. Now, you still have the opportunity to get this baby back out of this demon's arms. Will you do what it takes?
I ain't
You
never
are-
giving him up.
You are
He
absolutely...
sucks on my fingers so good.
Don't you put those fucking demon fingers in my baby's mouth! Dr. Drew, I think what you've done here is one of the most twisted and fucked up things that has ever happened. on
Artie,
the
I
face of
did
this
not
earth.
give this baby to Latricia. This happened through the bureaucratic processes
Whatever
of
you
the spirit
want to
world.
say, you are using it against me to make me give up the only thing that gives me any sort of pleasure in this life.
Artie. Go to fucking rehab. Fuck you.
Dr. Drew, I will go to the rehab.
You will listen to everything I say and tune in every Tuesday at 8.
Okay, and then I will have Johnson back.
Maybe.
Brenda,
Uh,
Dr. Drew is a demon.
uh,
You
What
signed
do you-
us up to be on this show.
what are you imagining
by a
things? No,
demon.
no such thing as no.
It's good since 1898, they say.
I bet it is.
It's so good. Imagine a root beer that's actually been aged since 1898.
Oh,
You think
yes.
it gets better? It probably
Yes.
burns.
Mmm.
Speaking of which, hello and welcome to MOATAIF. Do you remember at Camp Wilson?
I remember
when he
Camp Wilson.
made root beer?
With sassafras, yeah, I will never
Yeah.
forget that.
Didn't taste good at all.
No, it was fuck. I
But-
mean, it was just the root of root beer. We kind of just
Okay,
made this
I-
half-ass root beer drink with no sugar or anything.
I can't tell you how much I was looking forward to making and drinking that root beer.
Me too.
Because
I
there
thought it
was
was gonna
no
be like
pop.
the best root beer ever
Right.
too.
There was no pop at Camp Wilson. You could only have fucking orange juice or milk or water, apple juice.
Yeah, like the shit you
Oh,
would
I
get at
was
like
dying.
the cafeteria.
I was dying for that root beer. It was the most pitiful excuse for root beer I've ever heard in my entire life.
Was it even
basically just
carbonated?
tea.
Yeah.
I would know. It was just I would call it 100% tea.
Well, it was tea because they sell sassafras tea. You can go buy it.
So they
'cause-
tricked us.
Yeah, I mean, no, they didn't because sassafras is like the root they use for root beer.
True,
But they really hyped up the root beer part of it. They're like, this is in root
Right.
beer, kids. Aren't you excited
Right.
about nature? You can.
and it didn't taste like root beer at all. So you know what? I gotta say, I'm glad the place is closed down right now because of COVID.
Oh,
Now kids won't have to go through the torture.
you think they're
of
still doing that?
How many things could you really do at Camp Wilson? I mean,
You know,
You know
what
what I
would be
mean.
nice is if on a follow-up episode of the show, when they're open, we could call them on the show
and ask, yeah,
and be like, and get the answers.
just be like, we seem to remember that you guys told us we were going to be making root beer. Are we just like misremembering like what you taught us? Because I seem to remember like thinking we were going to be having like a nice Barks root beer homemade at the end of the night, and that was not what you delivered.
Could you imagine giving him a call, be like, "Hi, I went to camp there in 5th grade. What year was
Literally
that?"
2005.
Oh my god!
Hi, 15 years ago, I came to camp there.
Just tell him the whole story, making sassafras, and I just had to bust up that knowledge like a month ago because somebody was asking me. It was probably Abigail about like she's like, what the hell is sassafras?
Oh, it's root beer.
Thank you, Camp
That's all
Wilson.
Thank you. Honestly, I gotta say one last note on Camp Wilson.
No, I think we got to have a discussion about Camp Wilson. I don't think there's any stopping it.
I
got so much to say about it.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I was so sad so I was nervous at first because I had never, the only place I'd really spent the night before was at Austin Studebaker's house, and I didn't know what to expect. I was afraid, and by the time we were done, I was crying when we left. I cried on the bus ride home.
Oh. I had a very similar experience, and actually, I wish this didn't have to follow me my entire life, but I chickened out about 3 days in. I think it was a 5-day
Are you
camping trip.
serious?
I faked sick so I could go home.
I had no idea.
I did.
What caused you to do it?
Dude, I was just the same thing you were feeling. I was an only child. I really hardly, like, if I ever went to somebody else's house, it was my aunt's house, and like I had been going up there since I was a baby. Never stayed the night at friends' houses ever, because like my only friends up until then were like Tyler Denson. I might have stayed at his house
Yeah.
once, but it was not a comfortable experience.
I can only
And
imagine not.
Fucking Courtney Pearson's dad, rest in peace, was
rest in peace.
was sleeping like right above me. I had a room with
above?
like the people.
Why
like
did he sleep on the top bunk? I feel
don't
like
know.
the chaperone should be on the floor ready to jump up.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? That's weird.
I
to
might
me,
be remembering it wrong, but this is the memory as
I
I'm
believe
feeling
it.
it now. It was just I signed up to be with so many people. You could say whoever you wanted to be with, and like they had some way of figuring out like who preferred who.
Right.
But like I must have preferred a lot of people who didn't prefer me, because I got stuck with all the fucking misfits.
So who was in your cabin, and do you remember what it was called?
I'm pretty sure Tyler Sindel or somebody like that was in my
Oh.
cabin. I had Tyler Denson, somebody like just all like the random ass kids.
See,
Jason
now
Hennigan, maybe.
Oh, now that's interesting because I have a story about Jason Hennigan at Camp Wilson. But in my cabin, we were in Panther. We were the Panther cabin, and our chaperone was Allie Ullery's dad, Mr. Ullery.
I remember him being on that
And-
trip.
Yeah, I had a really weird, like, fond connection with Mr. Ullery, and Allie Ullery's mom bowled for years on the same league that my mom bowled in.
Okay.
And so I would see Allie Ullery's mom, and occasionally Allie Ullery's dad. And every time I'd be like, "What's up, Mr. Ullery?" Because like I was that kid, and I'm like, we had that connection. Who knows whether he actually? Well, the reason I think he liked me is because he laid down to. We were like in the like nap period before we were going to like the next event, and he's like, "I'm gonna lay down and take a nap." He's like, "Are you gonna stay awake?" I'm like, "I can." and he gave me his watch to keep time, and then
Wow.
wake him up in like 15 minutes to, you know, however long.
Wow.
So I was
He
really
trusted
honored
you.
by
That's
that.
so sweet.
Because I was in a cabin with Cody Loff, Justin Flippo,
Oh.
Cody Lambert, Brandon Allison was in there.
Brandon Allison. Wow.
yeah,
He got to hang out with much cooler kids.
Oh yeah, I think Jeremy Locks might have been in there, but that one I'm a little hazy on. And I think Dylan Borders was in there too.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, it was
Okay.
an odd cabin.
Now how
and then Ali Ellery's dad.
I think in these episodes, Zach, we should start like describing these people more because people don't know who they are, and like if we ever have listeners, I want them to know. Like I
right.
want to paint. How would you describe this group of people? Because I might be able to articulate how I would describe like I think their status in the school.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
at that time in like 5th grade, like what would you describe you guys as?
That was certainly like part of that was certainly like a group of those friends, like Cody Lambert, Cody Loff, Justin Flippo, and I was very definitely the bottom rung of this friend group because we were friends in like elementary school, right?
Right.
When nobody was anybody. And then as you get into middle school, you know, people start going into sports or whatever. And
Yeah,
that's what these kids did.
differentiates
And they
these
started
guys.
becoming more popular. And then like the other ones that didn't go into sports, like Nathan Greist or Cody Lambert, went into band. And that became its own popularity thing. So like they all became like really popular in their own right in a separate group. Like they certainly, I mean, like Cody Loff and like Justin Flippo maybe were like some of the most popular kids.
Yeah,
boys,
I
would say.
I think definitely. Yeah, I always remember thinking that group. You know, it's weird. I never knew you were at the bottom of it. I always just saw you included in it, and I always thought you guys were like cool, kinda. You
Well,
guys were
I
all
would
like
say-
not all, but you guys were pretty much like funny. Like I remember always,
Class
if I ever heard you
clowns.
guys talking about something, you know, or laughing loud, I always thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was certainly a fun. I think the only reason I feel like I was on the bottom was because I was instantly out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we're still
yeah.
friends, and I'm not. So like, I was obviously on the bottom of the rungs there. But it was because Cody Loff lived in like right outside of Lawrenceville, so I would walk across the street and go down to his house and hang out. But Brandon Allison was by far the biggest outcast, and I, as a part of the friend group, did a thing that that's always been iconic to me, but is honestly really mean.
Oh,
Cody Loff and I, Cody, I don't remember what night it was, but Brandon Allison also had been very terrified, openly vocal about how afraid he was to like be there and be away from his parents.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like making fun of him. I'm sure I did, but I don't remember partaking in that because I too was scared. You know what I mean? So like I hope that I didn't, but I can't say for sure. But what I did do was, along with Cody Loff, smuggle in my jacket, like pulled my arm up into my jacket sleeve, and then took one of the dining hall plastic cups
Okay.
back to our cabin. And when Brandon Allison fell asleep, we filled it up with water and made him piss the bed by putting his hand in it.
Did he actually piss the bed?
And he did. He actually pissed the bed. Yeah, he actually
Oh
pissed the
my
bed.
god.
And he was on the top bunk, I remember, and I do remember that was like something that we hadn't thought about. So like the person that was underneath had to move beds as well.
Did you
But
guys
that
get
was
in
something
trouble?
No, because we didn't we weren't, he peed the bed and we weren't like, we did that, until months later. And then we claimed credit for it. But no, we didn't get in trouble, but he obviously,
That's so, dude. That's traumatizing for
the
Brandon Allison.
I know.
Oh god.
And we thought it was the funniest fucking thing to ever happen.
Oh, I would too at the time. Yeah, definitely. If I was a part of that, I would laugh for like years.
I would still laugh about it to this day if I could, at the 10-year high school reunion, maybe I'll bring it up. I won't. I'd be like, remember when we were friends and we made Brandon Allison piss at Camp Wilson? But I don't want to really talk to those people anyway.
Yeah, my experience, like, I didn't really know anybody that well in my cabin, and I didn't really like them, like any of them. And I wasn't really fond of Courtney Pearson's dad. He wasn't like my dad at all. He was pretty lame. Just seemed like he just drank beer and fucking grilled. Like he didn't have
like a stick in the mud Republican.
Yeah,
like Christian.
And I just wanted to, like, I would see everybody else's groups and be like, that looks so fun. It looks like they're having a great time. Like, this fucking sucks. And I remember the first night we were there, like, I was an only child, so I was used to having like complete privacy, shitting and never having to hear and then just so scary having 5 of these random people I just went to school with in like the small cabin with me while I have to go in and fucking take the ultimate shit. Because the nasty ass fucking bacon they served us on those spinning Jenny things. I don't know what they are.
Lazy Susan. I think I remember
scary to take shits.
We had bathroom issues in the Panther cabin too. Also, I guess just for posterity, I should throw in there, our chant was Panther hoo-ha-ha, of course. And I truly, in my core, I had nothing but Panther pride, because we had like daily competitions of like who kept their, they would announce like every day at breakfast like who kept their cabin the most clean or whatever, and they would win like the golden plunger or like something like that. And the very first day out of the bat, Panther has suffered a massive defeat because all 3 of our toilets, or however many toilets we had, they were all clogged. So we did not win the golden plunger. And this is one of the iconic things I remember about Ali Ullery's dad, is he taught us all how to use toilet paper.
No.
He went in there and he's like, guys, like, I know, like, these aren't like these aren't like the toilets at home. Like, you're gonna have to use less. Like, roll off maybe this much, and you can fold it up like this.
We had the exact talk. I'm pretty sure we had like the exact talk from Courtney Pearson's dad.
I love that they fucking had to teach us how to use toilet paper. So fucking funny. But after that, we did end up at some point, I remember, winning the golden plunger.
For what?
After having for getting our, for having the cleanest cabin or whatever it was. Because that was like one thing that they would do every day. It'd be like, oh yeah, who gets the golden plunger? And it was, what the fuck ever. But that's the kind of lame shit I was into, because you could choose. We were able, from what I remember, we could like choose the things that we did, and because we went horseback riding one day, and there was a day where like some people went like climbing up the like rock wall. Like, I didn't do that kind of stuff. I went on the root beer hunt, the root beer walk. I did that kind of shit. But
I think we all did the same thing, just on alternating days.
Yeah.
Or maybe there were like choices, but like I think there were certain choices. But yeah, I left like I maybe had like a day or two. It was like we had a day and then we were leaving the next day, like the next morning.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it.
What did you do? How did you leave?
It was so obvious to me, like today, and I'm sitting here feeling like, oh man, that's so sad. Like, like they knew what was like. I was like fibbing, but I was just like, oh, my stomach really hurts. Oh my god. And then it was this big thing, and they came to the cabin at night after dinner, and they were like, how serious is this? They're like, do you want us to call your parents? And I was sitting in that cafeteria where we ate with nobody else in there, just one light on, and me and this other teacher. It was really like intimate.
One of the teachers at Northwestern, or somebody from Camp Wilson?
It was one of the teachers from Northwestern.
And do you know who it was?
I don't remember. No, but I was just like, can you call my parents? And then I like got on the phone with them, and they let me talk to them in private. I was just like, I want to come home. I can't do this. And my parents are like, no, they're like, RJ, can you like stick it out for just a day? Like, it's rain. There was a terrible rainstorm this night. Terrible. Oh, and they're like, okay, like, well, I was just like, no, please, like, you have to go get me down. They're like, all right. And then I made my parents, they took them like, I don't know, like 2-3 hours to get there because of how bad the rain was.
Oh my god. Well, and it was in Bell Fountain, right? Like a little past Bell Fountain. She was already like 40 minutes to an hour away from Springfield.
Yeah, so and they drove all the way there, and then I came home and ate a box of cereal and felt so much better, and then went to bed. It was great. Not a box of cereal, but like a bowl.
It honestly sounds so nice. Like,
yeah, I did not
like
want to
it
be
would've
there.
been
I don't
really
regret
comforting.
leaving. I felt a little embarrassed, but I did not want to be there.
I feel like the only did you get to go horseback riding? Because that was
I
my
did.
favorite part.
I did.
And I think the only thing you might have missed is Jason Hennigan's incident when
What?
he was bucked off of his horse.
Oh, I heard about that. No, I saw it at school. He had this big injury.
Oh, so it's replaying in my head in slow motion.
You watched it happen like front and center?
Because he's like, I mean, he's like way up there. Like, I mean, there's at least like, I'm like, it's so weird how the human brain works. Because I swear to God, dude, I was just there. And I'm like, all around me, I'm at Camp Wilson. I'm on my horse, and I'm trying to visualize how many horses there are. And I'd say there's at least 7. And Jason Hennigan's up there. And Jason Hennigan's dad is not too far back, because his dad was one of the chaperones. And I'm walking, blah, 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 plotting along. And all of a sudden up there's like, you had to like walk your horse under a tree branch or whatever, and it wouldn't go, and Jason just did like what you're supposed to do and like, you know, kicked it on the side or whatever, you know, to be like, go on, whatever you do. And the horse got pissed and just went whoop and stood up on its hind legs. Of course, Jason's like 5th grade, so he just falls right the hell off, and the horse takes off. The most iconic part, because like obviously everybody sees Jason Hennigan fall off of his horse, but the most iconic part is Jason Hennigan's dad back here, who suddenly turns into a fucking cowboy. He's like, hey, and like, he just giddy up, like fucking whoa, with his horse, just fucking darts it up there to check on his kid while all of like the Camp Wilson people are swarming in. Oh, it was so iconic. And of course, you know, he got, you know, luxury treatment because he fell off a horse, but you know, he wasn't injured that bad, but that Brandon Allison pissing the bed and Jason Hennigan falling off the horse are like the 2 biggest
These
memories.
are such wholesome stories we're remembering right now. Like, I can't remember the last time I thought about this fucking place, dude.
I know. I love
Even
it.
though I left early, it's just like I have very wholesome memories of it. I think it's a really cool thing to happen. Now, Washington, D.C. might be another episode probably.
Yeah, right.
Because that was a whole other beast that I stayed the whole
was.
time for. And I was a bad kid.
Well, we're certainly leading into a great topic for next week. I'm
Oh, I
dying for
can't- I
that
can't
one.
wait.
I'm dying for that one. Now we've got like a whole week at least to like remember memories.
Yes.
This was just a spur of the moment. We had a whole other topic planned, but
Yeah,
now I guess that's
That's
getting
just gonna
pushed
go,
2
yeah.
weeks down the road.
Yeah,
It's getting
we'll
put
do it.
on the list. It's getting put on the list, and we'll get to it, I guess, because Camp Wilson. Something must be going on at Camp Wilson, because why would we just randomly think of it?
I have no clue. I can't even
15
remember
years later.
what brought Camp Wilson up.
I don't either. Like, I feel like we're all the only. Well, and it's pretty bad that we're only 53 minutes into recording and we already can't remember what made us bring this up.
I mean, you have a
Why are we
discussion for
talking
like
about
30,
this?
40 minutes, you know. I don't know how long it was, but it's just like, I think that's normal to be like, what were we talking about that led to this?
You're right. We got so far in. Good discussion, though. Fond memories of Camp Wilson, and you know, hell, I hope they do reopen so one day we can ask them if they misled us about the root beer.
Yeah.
Because maybe they, honest to God, were just like, we're going to make sassafras tea, and sassafras is in
No,
root
I
beer,
have the root
and
beer
I
me-
just heard root beer.
I remember them hyping up root beer the entire time. Be like, this is the root used in root beer. Like, we're gonna go make root beer after this, guys. You guys
Right.
looking forward to to hype us up to get through this fucking treacherous walk we had to do.
Oh, miserable hike.
Yeah.
And we had to get there, and we're like, why? I just don't understand. Like, if we get them on the phone, I want to be like, so why, like, build up the expectation that you're going to be drinking root beer when you know every kid is going to be disappointed when it tastes like dirt and mushed up in a cup? Like, it tasted so bad.
I don't remember it tasting that bad. I don't think I drank.
Well, it tasted a lot like tea. It just tasted like tea, leaves and water, and I don't like that. I know you like tea, you like coffee, you like things just like brewed in water. I don't like that.
I love it. I love chicken broth, beef broth. Just heat up some water, drop in a bouillon cube, and I'll be good.
God, you sound like the people. You're the opposite of the people I had to deliver to in the hospital. They'd be like in renal failure, dying. I'd like come in and be like, "Here's your dinner," and it's like a little bowl of chicken broth, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
I'd be so happy.
I'm like, it's your meal.
Oh my God.
I wanted food. I'm like, well, you're on an all liquid diet. I'm sorry, but this is all you can have before surgery.
I can't believe they let a high schooler do that.
I know, it was ridiculous. Of course, I fucked over that job by just mailing in my badge with an Obama sticker in it because they didn't let me have the day off to sing for the president. Sometimes, folks, you gotta be lenient with your employees, because if they're gonna sing for the president of the United States...
You told them that directly? Like, hey, I'm gonna be singing for the president, I need this day off. And they're like, no, you have to come in.
Yeah. I was like, I unexpectedly just got the chance to sing for the president when he comes here, like, on Thursday. But I'm supposed to work Thursday. Can I have that day off?
And this is on, like, Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, and they said no. And I get it. I get why they said no, but come on. Like, that's one of the times where you have to be lenient.
You didn't really slack at that job, did you?
No, I was a fine employee. But they lost me that day.
That would be another good episode, too, to remember stories specifically from that. Or maybe just an episode dedicated to the hospital in Springfield.
Right. Springfield Regional Medical Center, where I was born. Well, community hospital. That's where I was born.
Yeah, I wasn't born at Springfield Regional.
Right.
We could talk about the history of the community hospital,
You guys are in for a wild treat. The history. It's honestly an interesting little tidbit. It's honestly interesting, but we're going to tell you about the history of our local hospital of a town that neither of us live in anymore.
Just a small town boy from Appalachia.
Stay mout.
I'm just a small town boy from Appalachia.